Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Today y Mañana. I'm Alex, this is Xavier, and we're very excited to have you joining us this morning on a beautiful morning here in Charlottesville, Virginia.
It can't get any better, right?
Can't get any better.
After a 2-week hiatus, this is a great way to get back.
It's really great to be back. It's really great to be back, and just to see the beautiful fall colors.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
You can't beat the transformation of the leaves that happens this time of year.
It's
every
stunning.
Year.
The colorful. When you just look at those mountains and you see the color, there's nothing like it.
Yeah, it is. It's a
especially
special
people
time.
travel all over the world just to come here, right? I mean, just to see the colors, because a lot of countries don't have this.
No, exactly. No, the Shenandoah National Park this time of year is one of the busiest national parks. That's some of the most visitors of anywhere in the fall. It's a huge. So this happens. Like the North American changing of leaves happens here and nowhere else quite like this. It happens in other countries, but not quite like this. Yeah. So it's a special time, and we're glad to just be enjoying it in a place that has such wonderful ways to enjoy it.
That's right, absolutely.
Which is fantastic. So we have a lot in store for you today. We're going to be joined very shortly by Elizabeth Ladner. She's the owner of Let's Create Consulting, followed by Fernando Adriazola from Fusion Café CVille, and last but not least, Ray and Lauren Zayas, the owners of Popito's Pizza. So we got a lot going on. Of course, we love being here on the I Love CVille Network set. Just a big thank you to our presenter, Emergent Financial Services, and of course, we love being powered by our friends at Aqua Hand Car Wash, at Castle Hill Cider, at the Gym CVille, by our friends, of course, Miguel and Chit from Craddock Serious Insurance, and of course by Ford Adelante, the premier Latino networking group here in Charlottesville, Virginia. So I don't know about you, I've been in the way for so long, I'm so glad to just jump right into it.
Absolutely. I mean, that's why we're here. I mean, we have 3 guests today, right? So it's good to jump in and let them showcase.
Exactly. So without further ado, we're glad to welcome to the show Elizabeth Ladner. She is the owner of Let's Create Consulting. Elizabeth, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Well, thank you for having me. It's great to be at Today Mañana. When I got the reach out a couple weeks ago, I thought this is a wonderful opportunity. And I love your show. I mean, it's great to have outreach like this.
No, of course. Thank you so much. And just loving the audience this morning. Just a couple of shout outs. Elvira Dednesi, thanks for watching us this morning. Donna Levati Francavilla, thanks for watching. Lily Dorey, thanks for watching this morning. So already we got some fantastic people lined up. So Elizabeth, tell us a little bit, for those who don't know you, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you started Let's Create Consulting.
Yeah, so I moved here in 2005 for graduate school, as so many people come to the area associated with UVA, and did the academic thing for about 10 years, working on a PhD, and then went to work in the nonprofit sector. I have a real passion for the nonprofit sector. I love teaching, and I love helping people get their dreams out there, however they achieve it, whether it be college students finding their next, path in life, nonprofits working for good causes, and just sharing with the world what an individual can offer.
Right.
And so when I got out of the nonprofit sector, I'd been at James Madison's Montpelier. I had a background in project management and digital humanities. I love tech. I love figuring out how things work and how we can leverage it to really, make the best of the world. And I had a couple of people from the academic arena approach me and say, I'm also tired with academia. I want something different. And I said, well, what's your idea? How do you navigate and get into that private sector? And I just started working with them, and I built their website presence, I built their app presence, social media marketing, and then I made networking. It's so wonderful to network in Charlottesville. I'm sure you guys appreciate that.
Absolutely, no doubt about it.
Just a great entrepreneurial community. And I got them in touch with the people they needed to, and I realized I had a passion for this. I was helping others succeed and doing something I love. So I decided right before COVID hit, literally like a month before, I'm going to, make a real go of this. I'm going to dedicate, and this is going to be my business. I got my LLC set up, had some people I'd been working with who were like, we're with you, we're in this. Kept going, COVID hit, and everything went
silent.
We heard that before, right?
So it's been a lot of up and downs, but a great journey that I love, and I'm always out there meeting new people. I met someone who's going to be on today with Fusion Café, Fernando. And I was like, well, let's talk. Let's see what we can do together.
That's fantastic. So what was that step? I mean, even absent like doing it a month before COVID, what was the step prior to that of saying, all right, I'm going to take this step and now make this a small business? What was that transition like to be like, I'm going to take the plunge on this?
Scary. incredibly scary because I was like, I don't know. My whole idea of a path in life had been you go to school, you get the job. I was either going into academia,
right.
you
Exactly.
work for someone else. I had to learn a lot just myself of like, well, what are the steps to actually being recognized as a business? If I'm going to help others do this, like I've done it a little, but now how do I do it for myself? And so it was scary. It was also like I had people I was already currently working with, which gave me the confidence to at least, I'll give myself a time period. I had set 6 months to a year to try. And if it's not working, I'm out, keep my ears to the ground, see what else is out there. But people stuck with me even during COVID because everyone kind of was, on a break. And then, one of the boons of COVID has been that people want to go out on their own, want to try new avenues of life. And so a lot of people wanted to start and had no idea how.
Right.
And that was the sector that right time, right place.
Exactly. So basically when we think of Let's Create Consulting, so is part of it when people come to you and say, yes, I want to start this business and how do I do it? Or have they already started and you say, here's a way to make it more palatable in the sense of, website or design or whatever?
Yeah, both.
Okay. Actually,
so whatever stage you're at, if you have an idea but aren't sure, well, how could I actually make this function? I help you write a business plan. What would be the most effective? What kind of audience are you working to get? Those kind of nitty gritty things. But if you already have, a lot of my people also already have a business. It's just not where they want it to be.
Exactly.
And how do you rebrand or how do you build or what else? What are your pain points? Let's identify pain points and how do we smooth those over so they're no longer there? And what can I take off your hands as a small business owner so you're not in 3 million places at once?
Well, one of the things I noticed, and this is really due to technology, is that, you put a website together or you put marketing material together and it just seems like in about 2 years, it looks old-fashioned. And the old days, you put something together and it lasts for 10 years. Now it's like you put something together 6 months later, it's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
This doesn't look so avant-garde anymore.
Technology changes fast.
Yeah. So
really
do you see that happening? People just kind of saying, "I got to change," or
yes. And so part of my business is I will stick with you if you want to keep me on after you've launched. Small businesses sometimes that's not in the budget initially, and I am very conscious of what it takes to launch a startup. But keep me on. I'm always there for you if you want to come back for one-offs. That I do a revamp of your website, I freshen it up, it needs editing, or on a monthly basis, I make sure that it's constantly updated and looking the most avant-garde that it can be in your style. And that's it's really important that I understand my client and I work with them so that it is representative of them and their brand.
Yeah, because each person's style is going to be
totally different.
It's going to depend on what their brand and what their personality is like.
Right, and so I'm very specialized in that I work closely with you. I'm in constant contact. I like sitting down. I like having conversations. I like being a people person. Again, it's also that teacher in me. Let's learn about where you want to go in life.
which really is such a key, because I think sometimes there's one of the keys that we see even in our business, right? It's one thing when you're in the service industry to do something for someone.
Yeah.
It's another thing to do it in a way where it's also educational for them, that they're learning not necessarily how to do it all themselves, because otherwise that's not the purpose for which they hired you, right?
Yeah.
Like, here, now go do it yourself. But they're learning, all right, this is how this works. This is why you're making this decision.
Yes.
This is why this is important for my brand. So that you have this nice working relationship with them, that they're more knowledgeable now about how the marketing works, how this works to grow your business and the brand, instead of just saying, well, I offloaded it all to someone, I have no idea what it is, but it works. Because there are decisions that you can make as the small business owner that sort of tie in to what's going on the website, on the marketing.
And it all should tie in. It should be a cohesive package. So one of the things is, one, I educate people on why I'm making these decisions, how I'm going about it, what's in their best interest given my knowledge. And if they want to learn, I'm happy to teach them more nitty gritty. And if they just want to pass it off, that's great too. But I want it to be whatever the client is comfortable with, and that they feel empowered in a pinch if they needed to. They understand why a decision is being made, and they could go ahead and do that with confidence.
Absolutely. So what's kind of the process like in working with you? So let's say someone calls up Elizabeth and says, hey, I'm interested, I want to grow my business, I want to work on my brand. What's kind of the process from there?
So I say, let's chat. We can either do a Zoom or now things have opened up. Let's do in person. I'm all about in person. I think that's the best and quickest way to get a sense of the other individual. And so then I say, let's meet. We'll grab coffee somewhere. I work from Common House a lot, and I go up there on the roof, and it's days like this that are perfect. And so I do about an hour rundown. Where are you at? What brought you to this? What are your goals? What do you see getting out of this? And where you think points are that we could increase, visibility? How do you want your business to grow? Basically, where are they feeling that things are lacking? So I want to know what they're feeling like it's not working before I start offering, my opinion of what I think could be improved. Because sometimes we have very different ideas, but I need to know that. And then I say, okay, let's keep in conversation. This is how I think upon our initial meeting, gut instinct is this. I see this kind of being our path forward. But let's take some time to each think and be in contact, because I want them to really think about it's an investment on their end and it's an investment on my end, and I've seen it too often fail where people hire a company and then are very dissatisfied. And that is not the working environment that anyone wants, and it wastes money, it wastes time, and it's not getting your business visibility in the way you want it to.
Exactly. One of the things I also realize in businesses in today's world is that the website can create be part of two functions, right? I mean, there's some companies where the website isn't what helps them sell, but what helps them maybe close it in a sense that's you've already met some people, and then they go to your website to see a little bit more about you, right? And then there's other websites, without any doubt, they need to be able to attract you so that they can sell products. I mean, is that something
They're very different.
With?
Yeah, I work with all types. So I've done e-commerce, I do teaching platforms, I've designed on Kajabi, so if you want course creations that you then sell, I do that. It can be a standard website where this is serving as, yes, I've Googled you, you appear. So many take that as legitimate these days, right? If you don't have a website, are you really there, right?
Exactly.
Is your business legit? If I hire you, and others are more for informational purposes or trying to go viral, right? To reach that algorithm magic point to get found on Google and other search engines or social media. So again, I've worked with restaurants, I've worked with academic tutors, I've worked with coaches, the health and wellness space. It's been a learning experience on my end, but I love the diversity of everyone I've worked with, because it helps me go into a situation and say, I feel confident that I can help your business grow.
It's interesting you say that, because you said that, going to a website says, they do exist. And I remember, this is probably over 10 years ago now, but I remember in my previous firm, we were switching from one vendor to another, or whatever they called it.
back-end website.
And for a week there, it's like, it wasn't working very well.
People notice.
And I had one person call me and says, what's going on? You guys did you guys go under? You're not working anymore? And I said, no, we're still here. Why are you asking? He says, it's your website. I mean, we went to the website and it wasn't there. It's like, but we're here. I mean, it's like, so it's true. It's how important that is to be able to go to somebody's website and say, yes, they exist. Two, it's attractive. It brings you in. And I know, obviously, with websites, the idea is to keep them there for more than like 10 seconds, right? So you can see that there's something there people are interested in.
Yeah, and what is that? And
exactly.
With all of the back-end stuff now, everyone can track, like, this page is attracting, or this button people are clicking on, kind of thing.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, that's amazing today. You just follow and see this page, they were on there for 2 minutes, the other one 10 seconds, and it really helps. Yeah,
and you know what, for my personal amusement, sometimes when I go to a website, I'm like, oh, they need a revamp. It's like automatically comes in my mind, like, I think this is 3 years old, let me go look at the copyright. This is about time that you want to think about, looking a little more modern. Just because, you were right, the technology changes so quickly.
That's amazing. So, is that a common one? What are some common things that you think that you've seen that a lot of small business owners either don't think about like an opportunity they miss or like a challenge they face when it comes to marketing and sort of putting themselves out there?
I understand why so many people do this, and I applaud them and starting out, but people often think, because there are services out there like Square, or Wix even, markets themselves as saying, you can build this on your own. And they give you the tools, and that's true.
Right.
It may, and oftentimes is not fully cohesive as your brand. It doesn't look as slick as you'd like, as personable as you'd like, because it's out of the box, which is great that you can have a presence. I'm nothing against that, and that if that's what your jam is, go for it. But it can be disorienting to a visitor to the website when it's like, how much have you invested in this business, right? If your colors aren't all the same across platforms. I mean, just little things. Your logo isn't there. Do you have a logo? What is your brand? Who are you?
Exactly, yeah.
Because it really is your statement piece, much like a storefront when people walk by.
That's right.
That's what online is now.
Yeah. So you got to reach, as a small business, once maybe you put it up there for first few weeks as your first end, but you reach a point where you need to sort of think, oh, I need to go, it's free for a reason, and I need to go beyond that to something that's a little more
Something
cohesive.
is always better than nothing.
Yeah.
Is my rule.
Of course.
But if you get to a point and, there are ways to make it financially feasible to get a good website.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
I remember that from way back when we would have, the simplest ones they used to teach you, and this was when I was going into college, they had the web designer class that you could take. And first you learned how to build like the table, HTML block website, and then very quickly when you get into business, you looked and you're like, I know it's free.
It's a box.
And I did it myself on HTML. But this website is not cutting. In other words, there's a big transformational change that happens when you go from I'm doing this myself with my whatever knowledge I'm doing to I actually have someone that I'm working with that thinks about the whole brand instead of just saying I made my logo on Photoshop, I made my website with HTML, put them together and voila. You can tell that it's not one cohesive whole.
You're right. And in terms of discoverability, there's so many things now that are behind the scenes on a website for your search engine optimization, SEO. You want to make sure those tags are all correct and all that. And that's not stuff that's intuitive or that anyone would know when they're building something that from scratch out of the box that looks nice.
Absolutely.
That's a good point.
That's a great point. Man. So, Elizabeth, before we let you go, where can people find you if they want to get in touch, reach out to you, connect?
Yeah, so one, you can always Google Let's Create Consulting. I have a Facebook page as well under Let's Create. And my website is actually eladner.com. So it's my first initial, last name. Very easy.
Very easy. eladner.com, or you just Google Let's Create Consulting. You'll find also Let's Create Consulting. We've tagged you on Facebook, so just click that link and voila.
And there you go.
You'll be right there. Elizabeth, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you, Elizabeth. This is great.
Thank you today, Mañana. This is wonderful.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Now
That's a great title, right? Because when you think about Let's Create, one of the things that when you're doing a website, what you're doing, you're creating, right? And so the idea is to create something that matches the personality of the owner, matches the branding, does everything that you need it to do. It's without a doubt, today's world, that website is so important.
It is.
It says a lot about the brand, it says a lot about the products, it says a lot about the company, says a lot about you.
Absolutely. Just that branding whole is really key. A couple more shout outs we got here. The audience is loving it today. Thank you, Gabriel Rivas, for watching this morning. Thank you, Super Amanecer shared our Super Amanecer. Cody at camera shared us this morning, apparently. So thank you for that. Thank you, Bill McChesney, for watching. Thank you, Johnny Ornelas, amigo del programa, for watching this morning. So really appreciate it. Thank you, Elizabeth Urpí, for watching this morning. So just definitely appreciate all our fantastic audience, and from one fantastic brand to another, which we are loving. He is here marketing the brand today, and we're really excited.
November 1 is good. It must be on his hat.
Exactly, everywhere else. We're really excited to welcome to the show Fernando Adriazola. He is the owner of Fusion Café CVille. Fernando, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you guys for having me here, giving me the great opportunity of your platform to talk a little bit about Fusion Cafe and the exciting news that we're going to open real soon.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you decided to start Fusion Cafe.
So, it's a very funny story. So, I'm actually a chef. I've been a chef since I've been working in the restaurant business since 2012. Wow. It was always a dream of mine to open my own shop. Mm-hmm. And then because of the pandemic, I lost my job at the restaurant I was working at. And I didn't know what to do. All I did was restaurants. And just like Elizabeth was saying, a lot of people branched out when the pandemic hit. You decide to go on your own. Exactly. So I went a different path. I didn't open a restaurant. I ended up opening a construction company.
Not a bad idea, actually.
So mine's a little bit different, a different story. So thanks to my construction company, I'm now opening Fusion Cafe. So I got there just a little bit longer, but I'm from Miami, as you guys know.
Yeah, Miami.
You can say I'm Cuban, like you guys say.
Exactly. Honorary Cuban.
That's right.
So I know a lot about different tradition of foods. Mm-hmm. In Miami, as you guys know, everybody's there.
Yeah.
Cubans, Mexicans, everywhere, Bolivians. So I wanted to create a brand that was different. Bring something different to CVille. Mm-hmm. So I actually have a business partner, and my business partner is actually Gabriel Rivas.
So he's watching. He's watching this morning.
So me and him worked together for so many years on different restaurants. He was always my right-hand guy. So I always dragged him with me, like, oh, I'm going to manage here. Like, come on. So me and him sat down one day, and we were like, what can we do or bring to the table to show us that we're going to stand out? Because cafeterias, we have a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of good ones, by the way. A lot of good cafeterias. So me and him talked about fusing. He's from El Salvador. I'm from, I have descendants from Bolivia. I have Honduran in me. So, like, what can we do to make ourselves stand out? And that's when it hit us. We're like, oh, how about we bring a coffee from a coffee of the month from all over the world. And whatever coffee we have, let's say we have a coffee from Cuba, we'll have a traditional Cubano to pair it with that coffee.
Wow. That's a good idea.
So the panini gets paired
with the coffee of the month.
Very interesting.
So if we get something from Costa Rican coffee, we're going to match it with a Costa Rican traditional sandwich panini.
And so the idea is to do this every single month to change?
Every month it's going to be a different.
Wow, that's.
Different. I have a lot of countries to go through. We have a lot. I'll have a different country for a while, and hopefully we can get all the. Right now we're not having a problem with distribution, but hopefully it doesn't become a problem.
Right.
Yeah. With
coffee distribution.
Coffee distribution.
That's the key, right?
That's going to be the key.
Bean is the key, right?
Because what I want to do is, I just don't want to buy it from somebody else. I want to buy from that country. Like, literally get it from the distributor from that country to send it to me. Because then I know it's authentic and it's known that I'm selling the original product to the people.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we're trying to do different.
That's fantastic.
And then again, we're going to have a menu as well. Regular paninis. We're going to do a little bit of like a signature Honduran panini. It identifies me. Salvadoran panini identifies the other business partner.
Exactly.
And just everybody be welcome to our cafe from anywhere.
That's fantastic. That's awesome. I love the variety. Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, you first.
Thank you. The elder guy goes
You first.
Well, what I was going to say also, in addition to panini, so I mean, your Fusion Cafe is open from what time to what time?
Fusion Cafe is going to be open from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Okay.
We're going to be a morning breakfast and lunch operations.
Okay. So for breakfast, is there going to be any other type of, other than panini, something else?
So we're going to have wrapped like breakfast burritos.
Okay.
And that's not going to be in a set menu. That's just going to be what I can get my hands on depending on distribution and just come up with like different breakfast styles.
So same thing, every day, maybe something different.
Exactly. Not everything's going to be the same. Maybe we'll have let's say a Mexican burrito for breakfast that morning, or
Exactly.
I come up with something else.
Yeah.
I want to be creative. I also want to have a set menu, but at the same time, I want people to come in and be surprised, like, oh man, I want to try this.
Exactly.
Well, I
And
love
that's
that. It
what's
reminds me of, remember when we were in Santa Fe?
Yeah.
You would find in Santa Fe always there would be these little almost like stands, some of the breakfast burritos, but you never knew what was going to be there day to day. Like you wake up one morning, you go down there, the breakfast burrito had like chorizo, potato, and eggs. The next day there was no chorizo, it was cheese, beans, and eggs. Like there was always something different because it was whatever they got their hands on. They're like, all right, this is today's, and it was some of the best breakfast burrito you'll ever have. But you didn't know in advance what it was going to be, so you get the enjoyment of it. Okay,
yeah, and that's something that we wanted to bring to the table. It's like not only we'll have a set menu, but at the same time, I want you to come in every day and be like, oh, I don't have to eat the same cubano every day. I can get this.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. What are you talking about?
You're right. There's nothing wrong with that. Believe me, I'm from Miami. I ate a lot of cubanos.
I'm just kidding. No, but that's exactly right. That's exactly right. You want to be. I mean, if you want to get repeat customers, right? It's like, okay, yeah, I had the cubano yesterday, or yesterday I had a different panini, and you come in the month later, it's like, well, I know they're having something new. I got to go back for breakfast. Yeah. That's how you get people to go back, especially when the quality is good.
And that's what we wanted.
Yeah.
We wanted to offer that as well, so people can enjoy, especially because our location, it's on the West Main Strip. Yeah. So I'm gonna have a lot of repeat customers. People walk up and down those streets every day.
Exactly.
So I want to offer them something different.
Yeah.
And I want them to welcome to my cafe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's a great idea.
Bring them in that way.
Yeah. That's a great idea. I remember when I used to work in New York, some of the buildings, same thing. They have these really interesting cafes, and the morning, of course, those were huge buildings, right? But people just walk in, and that's where they would get their breakfast. And the lines were out the good ones. The lines were out the doors, just waiting, right, to get in, to get their coffee and whatever else they had. And some of the other shops, you could tell the coffee was pretty lousy, just donuts and coffee, and it's like there's nobody there. And so that's the difference, right? You attract people when you have good quality and variety.
Exactly.
No, that's key. And the fans loving it. Lily.I says, Buenos dias. Love that idea. Coffee of the month sounds so fun.
Awesome.
Yep.
I'm happy that people are loving the idea.
If you love coffee, that's a great idea, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, my mom and my wife are happy that I'm opening a cafe because they love coffee.
They'll be there every morning.
They'll be there every morning.
They'll already be there.
Yeah.
Well, it's like teas. I mean, it's like sometimes you go to tea stores, like there's like 1,000 teas, right? Yeah. Well, there's tons of coffees, and the coffee flavors are all different. So it's great to be able to do that because it's hard. It's a lot easier to buy like a bag of I guess teas. There's smaller boxes. Coffee is like you got to buy a pound or half a pound or whatever, and then you go there's like. I didn't grind it well or whatever. Yeah. But to be able to go somewhere, it's like, okay, today's Colombian, tomorrow's Honduran, the next day, Salvador or whatever it is, right? I mean, that's a great idea.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Looking forward to it.
Are there going to be any like sweets?
Here we go.
Yes. So
you can tell. I guess that I'm having
the Cuban. He says, "Where's the sugar?"
Well, here comes the sugar. So actually, just had a meeting last week and officially. Signed it with Paradox Pastries. We're going to fuse with Paradox Pastries. They're going to be our providers for our pastries that we're going to offer in-house in Fusion Cafe.
Awesome.
I had the opportunity to meet the owner, Duran. Shout out to him. Wonderful person, guys. Go check out Paradox Pastries. I have a lot to offer. And then we were really lucky enough that we were able to fuse our companies and help out.
That's awesome.
He's helping Fusion, we're helping Paradox. And I'm all about, helping local, small businesses.
Absolutely.
And, because we have to help each other to grow and make our company successful.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, yeah, because we grow together, right?
Yeah.
We lift each other up.
Exactly.
And help each other up. So that's how I'm looking forward to that. So, I mean, think about it, everything can be satisfied here. You go in, you get your coffee, your breakfast food, you get your sweets.
Yeah, there you got your sweets. And they got really good sweets.
Yep, and then you come back for lunch.
Have another coffee with your panini.
And then something special that Paradox is actually doing for us is they're actually going to try. We're not sure yet. This is just out there, but I want to do a little spoiler. We're gonna try to pair a pastry with the coffee of the month with the panini.
Oh, that will be nice.
So
We're
you're
gonna
gonna
try.
have guava-filled pastries. Is that what
Yeah.
you're trying to tell me?
We're
We're gonna try. You're gonna
working on
try.
that. We're working on that because I think it's going to be a little bit harder to get the ingredients,
Yeah.
depending on what country I get. So we're going to see what works. But that's a little spoiler for everybody. So we're going to try to do that.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
That's
it's
awesome.
double the reason to go. One for the panini of the month, and two for the dessert.
Pastry of the month. You're already. I see the pastelito con guayaba on your mind
Absolutely,
already.
of course. Number one, numero uno.
Yeah.
Numero uno. Absolutely. So what? I mean, for you personally, I'm curious. What's one of the things you're most looking forward to about the opening?
The most that I'm looking forward to, I guess, is people enjoying my brand. People enjoying what we're doing, and people enjoying what I love to do, which is cook, great customer service, and make sure that everybody leaves my cafe satisfied, 100%.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking really forward to. People enjoy what we're gonna bring to the table, and people to come back and tell everybody about us.
Absolutely. I think that's going to happen.
Absolutely.
I got a
there's no
good
doubt.
feeling. I got a good
Yeah.
feeling about it. Just
Thank you.
Just saying, I got a good feeling about it.
And they're going to be served with a smile too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, a lot of smiles. Free.
That comes
Smile are
The
free.
smile is free.
I can promise you that.
No charge. And then what better way to wake up in the morning than to see a
yeah.
smile, get some coffee, and get some delicious food.
Pastries.
Pastries.
Well, that works well in the morning. I mean, I don't care what anybody says. That's a perfect morning breakfast.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
the
yeah.
breakfast of champions as far as I'm concerned. You got coffee and you got your dessert. Sugar and caffeine. That's all you need all day.
What else do you
That's
need?
all.
in life?
What else do you need?
That's it.
And you
Yeah.
go back for a panini so that you can keep going.
Exactly. So when can people expect the opening?
So as of right now, crossing our fingers, we are looking at November 1st.
Oh, so very close.
So
Just
very
2 days.
close, very soon. We're working really hard for the opening. So that's what we're shooting for as of right now.
Can you give us an idea as to what coffee flavor is going to be the first one, or you don't want to spoil that?
You know what? I use this platform because we need everybody to know. Our first coffee is going to be from El Salvador.
All right. Salvador.
Oh, nice.
We're gonna open up with El Salvador.
Nice.
So that you guys got the first
We
scoop.
got
Thank you.
inside scoop.
Inside scoop of
wait,
what's
wait,
going to
Breaking
be.
news. I wish we have to work on Judah getting like the ding breaking news. That El Salvador is the first coffee of the month.
Yeah, first coffee month is gonna be El Salvador.
Fantastic.
What's gonna be the surprise is the panini. I won't say that
Okay,
yet.
so
No, no,
now
yeah,
you're gonna
no,
have
no,
to go.
we don't
You're
have
gonna
to,
have to go. So I mean, if we're lucky, this time next week, we'll have a panini from in our hands. We're
Panini
eating
is-
it on
yeah,
air.
absolutely.
Ready to go? Yes.
If we're already ready to go, oh, that's fantastic. And where's the to remind people then where the restaurant's going to be located?
So
they
restaurant's
can
gonna
find
be
it?
actually in West Main Street.
Okay.
It's if you guys are familiar with Blue Moon's Diner, we're actually 2 doors down.
Okay.
We're part of the new construction of the new apartment buildings that are there.
Yep.
Yeah, we're literally 2 doors down from Blue Moon.
Really easy to find. There's
Absolutely.
Yeah.
usually parking, especially
Walking
in
distance from
breakfast.
downtown. We already,
Exactly.
a lot of college students are there already. So
Exactly.
guys, come check us out. We're more than excited to serve Charlottesville and give you our delicious flavor of everywhere, actually.
Perfect.
From everywhere, yeah.
Yep, a true fusion, Absolutely. Oh, this has been so fantastic, Fernando.
No, thank you guys so much for having me.
Oh, thank you.
it's been-
Thank you. It's been
It's
It's been
an
an
honor.
absolute pleasure. Where can people find you if they want to get in touch online, get news, get updates?
So they can find us in Instagram, Fusion Cafe, at Fusion Cafe, and you can find us on Facebook at Fusion Cafe as well.
Super easy.
And then soon enough, you'll find us in West Main Street.
Oh, awesome. So
Looking
Fusion
forward to it.
Cafe on Instagram, Fusion Cafe on Facebook, and very soon, Fusion Cafe on West
West
Main
Main
Street.
Street. Absolutely.
Fernando, thanks so much for
Fernando,
joining
thank
us.
you guys so much.
Thank
You got
you,
me
everybody.
salivating here, I tell you.
Ready to go.
This is
I'll let you know when I have Cuba in.
There we go.
You better.
Oh, there we go. Thank you. Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's funny when you talk about food. Sometimes you just the memory of the aromas of different things, right? And
You're thinking back to
well, no, it's
Queens
just
and all.
the aroma of coffee is strong, right? And when it's good coffee, you can smell it. And then, of course, then you start thinking about the pastries and the paninis, and then, boy.
It all comes into
It all
place.
comes together.
And before you know it, you're sitting on the show and you're like, "Is it lunchtime?"
That's right, exactly.
Is it,
It's
it's
not
only
lunchtime, what's going on?
10:53. What happened? And just a couple other shout outs. We got more people watching the show. Thank you for Sheila from Prosper Parenting watching the show this
hi,
morning.
Sheila.
One of our fantastic previous guests,
Absolutely.
Chrissy Muniz from Good Times Only watching the show this morning. So we got a lot of fans joining us this morning. I think we have. How about Patricia Drop Zayas is watching this morning? Mary Zayas watching this morning? I think I know who they're watching.
Yeah, we're the one they're
It's
watching.
almost as though we're about to welcome to the show Ray and Lauren Zayas, who are the owners of Popito's Pizza. So Ray and Lauren, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you
This
so
is
much
awesome.
for having us.
It's fantastic.
I really do need to know, how did you come up with that? I love that name, Popito. That's a
Of
great
course,
name.
right out of the gate,
Right
right?
out of the gate. I mean, this is me. I mean,
It's my favorite story to tell.
It really is. Do you want to tell her?
I do.
Go ahead.
So Ray is Puerto Rican, but doesn't speak any Spanish. And
What?
So
I know. I know.
it was his birthday. We had a few drinks, sitting around a table, playing games with friends.
Tequila.
And he said he speaks un poquito Spanish. And I'm like, and all of our friends are like, oh no. And then,
I don't think they could hear that well.
he said it well, but they didn't hear it
There's no
well.
evidence it really happened. It just,
And so we just were, making fun of him for a few weeks, and in line with that, we were kind of like,
Starting this whole
starting Popitos, but it didn't have a name. It was just we were starting a pizza pop
Right,
up.
right.
Yeah.
wow. So tell us a little bit about that. How did you both come to, I mean, it's funny because I always sometimes ask, like, how did you come to love pizza? But I mean, we all love eating pizza. And just
Right.
the question is, how did you both come to love making pizza, or decide did you like to do that?
So at home, really, it's been doing it with the kids for like 8 years or so.
Okay.
Or, we have an 8-year-old daughter, so I always refer to that. Let's make pizza at home, right? My brother-in-law also got me into it as well. So between him kind of sparking it off, and then me wanting just to do it at home with the kids, and a few times a weekend, which turned into events with families that were like, "Hey, you're making pizza, right? Okay, we're doing it this week, right?" And so that's really what it came about. So years and years of doing it at home and just really messing around, doing different flours and different doughs, right? Moving up to Charlottesville from Tampa a couple years ago, we had the opportunity where someone said, "Hey, you do it at home, why don't you do it here?" I said, "All right, let's take a swing at it."
That's fantastic. And what sort of gave you the leap to do, like, all right, now we're going to do this as a small business?
yeah.
Like,
That was a big leap. That was a really big leap because, of course, full-time job, and she has a full-time job at home with 3 kids, right? And so, we still wanted to follow that passion, and so it became a weekend thing, right? When that first customer kind of made me push ourselves, right? He said, "No, you got to come out." I said, "No, I do it at home with the kids. I can't do a whole crowd and this and that." He goes, "You can, just come on." And so we did it, and it was a home run, right? And so, "Can we do that again?"
It was so fun.
Another home
Yeah.
run. And we said, "Okay, now let's try to do this." And then we said, "Well, full-time job. All right, a weekend thing." And then things
It just
really grew
started
rapidly
growing.
from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
That's fantastic.
Amazing.
And now it's like more than a weekend thing, because I remember first time we got to enjoy it was the Winter Wander last year. Because, you're going through the Boar's Head.
That's right,
This was like
that's
a
right.
Thursday night, I think.
Right.
We're going through the Boar's Head, getting cold. And you're like, oh, dang, I'm hungry. And then you hit that little, there's the little knoll that they have there. And, little fire pits and stuff. And I'm like, pizza. Let's try this one. And it was so good.
Awesome.
I mean, it
Thank
just
you
came
so
out
much.
crispy. And you get that flavor that, and I don't want to preempt it because I'm going to ask you guys about this, but there's a very distinct flavor that the dough and the crust has. And so my question is, what's special about wood-fired pizza for you guys?
With the wood, you get that certain cook, man, and you can't deny that that pizza came out of a wood fire oven, As far as the flavor goes, that's the flour, that's our fermentation time. We really took a lot of testing with where we wanted that flavor to be. And so that's kind of what you get. And so with those two mixed in, and then of course coming right out of the oven, right to our customers, it's still kind of steaming, bubbly cheese. You know, it's just everything put together causes that good flavor. You know?
Absolutely.
No, so I'm interested because I mean, from what I understand, it's a you actually have a truck, right? Is that how you do your pizza?
Well,
or do you
well, it's a truck, but then you guys like set up. You have a
Oh,
little thing
right,
set up.
right.
There's like the
That's what I'm saying, how do you have a
you're
wood-
literally seeing Ray,
Yeah.
you know,
So
putting it in there.
outside
and
you
taking it
create
out.
like a wood. You know,
So we
a wood-fired
set up
pizza.
a whole kitchen
Oh,
essentially.
okay.
So
Because I'm thinking,
so
how do I do this in a truck with a
Yeah.
wood-fired pizza?
we just have a truck to carry around all of our stuff.
Right. We often fall under that category, right?
Okay.
People,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
the food truck category.
Yeah.
But he's right, man. We simply just unload a tent and some tables, and then we have a big oven on wheels. We pull it out of the truck, we get set up, and we start firing off, you know?
There you are, there
A
you are.
mobile
No, I
kitchen.
was sitting. We
Yeah.
were
It's
sitting
really
at the-
simple, and
Yeah.
people think that, like, oh man, what, you know, just this, and,
You can't
and we
say
say,
it's
well,
simple, it's
wait till
very
you
hard,
see what
right?
comes out of this, right?
Exactly. No, I mean you're sitting. We were
It's
literally
taken
sitting
a lot
there.
of trial and error.
I can imagine. I can imagine.
I would
Go
imagine.
ahead.
No, we're literally sitting there at the picnic table watching it, and like, yeah, he's putting my pizza in there right now. You know, you see him putting it in, he's taking it out. It's like, no, that's me.
That's when you
fine.
know it's good, right? Because that's the key. The key to pizza is really getting it, getting into that oven, getting out of the oven, and then, I mean, it might be a little hot, so you got to wait a little
Right.
bit,
Yeah.
no matter how hungry you are. But then just eating it and that crunchiness, wow.
That's what we like about having a tent. Sometimes the weather conditions don't necessarily always, work in our favor, but the tent is wonderful because then people could really see their pizza be made from start to finish.
Yep.
They're seeing their dough be rolled out, their sauce be put
Wow.
on cheese, and then them putting, him cooking in the oven, and then it, being cut, still smoking, and
Yeah.
the cheese bubbling.
850
and,
degrees, so
yeah.
it's definitely going to be hot coming out of that.
850. Wow.
Careful, the roof of your mouth, right?
Yeah, you gotta wait.
That's amazing. So who's the one that rolls the best pizza? I mean, do you do one of these things where you see on TV?
That's our dough boy Daniel.
Is it?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
And he can do that, really?
He's a
Oh, that's
master.
amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, he does behind the head and
Wow.
everything behind
Yeah.
the back. I mean, we're going to enter him into the pizza acrobats, right? One day.
In
where,
Vegas,
you know,
at
really?
the pizza show.
Yeah, put on a
The-
little pizza show. So, yeah, and he became. I cook, and he's on the other end rolling pizza,
Rolling, yeah.
and there's kind of a show on both ends, so it was really good,
It's
really
a-
awesome to have him.
It's
Yeah.
a lot of fun to watch, and you're so right. The flavor is one of the things that stands out, I think, because one of the things that with pizza you have to what takes it to another level because everybody likes the part with the cheese.
Right.
The question is, how good is the crust, right? Do you
Yeah.
want to eat that crust at the end, or do you leave it?
Yeah.
Right. So, and for me, it was like, oh man, this crust is like the flavor
Yeah, me
is
too.
so
I'm a crust
good,
guy, yeah.
and you just look forward to like, oh no, the cheese is done. That's fine. I'm here and I'm enjoying this crust because it's so good. The flavor is just really there.
Thank
Now
you
this is
so
this is
much.
coming
Yeah.
from a guy, right? I mean, most people eat their pizza where they go from the edge, right, all the way to the crust, right?
Yeah.
The
Right,
crust.
right, yeah.
He, even as a little kid, when he ate his crust first and then the rest, because he loves cheese. So for him to say that crust has to be
Big deal.
really good.
That's
Well,
because
you
that's
take
it,
the
right?
cheese
It's like,
first on
how
it.
do you eat pizza like that, Alex?
Wow. That's so awesome. Yeah, we strive for that really good airy light, but still a good crunch to it, right? You pull that crust open, you can
Yep.
see the air, the whole.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
That's when you know it's good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we really enjoy that.
Absolutely, yeah. We got more people watching this morning, just joining us. Catalina Galledo, thanks for watching. Sandy Rankin, thanks for watching. Haley Vest, thanks for watching us this morning. So got a lot.
Thank you, guys.
A lot of fans watching the show this morning. So I'm curious, what's kind of the experience like to be not just making pizza, but entrepreneurs as well, at that kind of behind the scenes,
The fun part.
getting the fun part there. What's the experience been like for you both?
So I'm hearing, the guests before me, right? And my whole thing, man, I really want to keep it in the backyard, making it for my kids and having that sort of mindset. Because turning it into business and that entrepreneur, I'm like, it gets really serious, I guess, in a way, right?
Yeah, we don't want it to ever feel like a job, just like our
For sure,
sharing
for
our
sure.
love with
Right.
the community. That's why we keep trying to spread it around.
Yeah, and our passion, hopefully people can see that and share that. But with the rapid growth, we kind of had to mature up in a way and kind of give the business some direction and where it went, and guide the growth of it, right?
Yeah.
Also trying to maintain that feel of us. Hey, it's just me and our kids and our family,
exactly.
right? Making pizza in the backyard, throwing dough behind our head, and just having fun, right?
Yeah.
And we're hoping that with the growth that we have, that people still get the sense of that coming to, our establishments, right? Whether it's Mobile or Winter Wander this year, or our store, right?
They'll always see either me or Ray.
Yeah, we'll be the
Winter
faces
Wander
there.
in the store. Yeah, we'll always be.
Right, and I think that
Around.
that touches, right? And so that's an important piece to really,
it is.
Now the entrepreneurship is coming out. That's an important piece to keep that while the business is growing the way it is.
Absolutely,
No,
yeah.
absolutely,
'cause-
yeah, that's
'cause I
important.
think that's one of the keys is like sometimes entrepreneurship, it isn't even necessarily just making the business grow. It's also how you want it to grow. 'Cause
Right.
sometimes it's gonna.
Yeah.
If you latch onto something, it's gonna grow.
Yeah.
So the question is, how do I make it? How does it grow in a way that works best for your family?
Maintaining that same
Up
that
to
same
this
vibe,
point,
right?
it's kind of grown naturally, and we have just kind of helped it along, really. The whole
Popito's, it's on its
Charlottesville has
own
honestly
path.
been so welcoming, and the relationships we've grown with, businesses, even customers that we serve at those businesses, and then, the
Right.
small amount of catering we've tapped into, and now the store, and so it's been,
With all that,
Thank you,
still
Charlottesville.
maintaining that
The feel.
that feel, that
Yeah, I
enthusiasm,
feel like you just
right?
cooked it for us in our backyard. Like you just-
Exactly,
Yes.
and that's what we want our customers
Ray and Lauren
to feel
just
like.
came over and they're making pizza for us.
yes, exactly.
Right.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about the store, because I know I knew about that. Because obviously, I first became familiar because you guys, would go places and you would find you at, at King Family Vineyard or at Winter Water. So tell us a little bit about the store.
So Mobile was the first thing, right? We went around the community.
We've been looking for our own commissary, our own kitchen, because we were outgrowing. We were making dough all of this time at Great Harvest Bakery in town.
Right.
Thank
Shout out
you.
to them.
Yeah,
They
shout
helped
out to
us
them.
with the
They helped us,
start
yeah.
of the growth. It was awesome.
But we needed our own home.
We needed a home base,
Yeah.
And fortunately, something came up that this home base had front doors for us to sell out of, right? Also
Yes.
had an oven that
Yep.
was in there that cooks our style pizza, right? And so it was all a huge blessing. We would have just went into like a warehouse and continued the Mobile, which is, increasing and rapidly growing as well, right? But when this came up, we said it was almost a no-brainer. So we were able to have that home base for Mobile for a lot of the things that are coming on board, right, with that,
Yep.
and the season we're going into, as well as now we have this storefront,
Yeah.
which was a huge blessing.
That's
for
also,
sure.
where's it located?
Yeah.
Where can people find that storefront?
It's going to be at the Rio Hill Shopping Center off of Woodbrook.
Very
Next to
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A, Kroger, Sierra,
Right.
Burlington, all that. And
Big
they're
shopping center.
it's a little rough looking right now, but they're
Yeah, but they're renovating a lot.
they're
of stuff.
renovating the
Yeah,
whole
absolutely.
thing,
Yeah, the whole center,
and
dude.
hopefully
Yeah,
it'll
is that
be
the one
done.
where Aldi came in there? Or is it the other side?
Across
other
the street,
side.
yes.
Across the street,
Across the
across the
street,
street.
yeah.
TJ Maxx,
Yeah.
Burlington
Yes.
Coat Factory.
Oh, yeah, they're renovating.
yeah,
Right, yeah, there's some big
Yeah.
box
Pretty
retailers.
spiffy.
Across
going
from
there.
Lowe's and Chick-fil-A, everyone
Yep.
knows because
Yeah.
everyone knows where Chick-fil-A is.
It's a very popular.
I know what Lowe's
corner.
is.
Yeah, there you go. We do now too.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Lots
a
of
lot
renovating.
It was very convenient for us too because we could just walk right across the
Yep,
street, right?
exactly, yeah.
Hey, we need more things. Okay, I'm walking, right?
Yes.
So that process took much longer. We wanted to turn it into our own, right?
Yes.
So we gave it a cosmetic facelift, if you will. Changed some things as we started peeling layers, though. You know how it is. All right,
Yeah.
while we're here, we might as well do it.
Exactly.
It extends that time, right? But we're there. We're there. We're at the finish line. And November 11th, we want to announce our grand
Oh,
opening.
wow.
Yep,
Okay.
yes.
Fantastic.
November's a big month.
Yes.
Two grand openings on the show.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
fantastic. November 11th. That's going to be awesome. So for people, so in other words, people won't have to, I mean, it's already fun. I think there's a certain fun aspect of going out and finding out, right, where's Popito's Pizza going to be? All right, okay, I'm going there. I'm going to enjoy this vineyard or this place, right? But I think there's also some little fun to be like, all right, they're not at a place today, but I can literally just go down
Exactly.
Yeah,
and get
exactly.
some pizza.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so we're trying to tie both of them like into each other. We're not going to stop our mobile business at all, or
Certainly not.
catering. The store's there, you know what I mean? They're going to help each other out. And in the store, you're going to find when you walk in, maybe not at first because we, are looking for an art
Still
person,
putting Humpty together.
to do a mural. But you're going to find a calendar with all of our events, where to find us on the go,
fantastic.
and then
Smart map of the community,
yes,
right?
and then also at mobile, we're oh, you like us? Check us out. We're at 1966 Rio Hill Center,
Store.
in Charlottesville, exactly. So they're gonna
super easy.
Yeah, exactly. So hopefully
So
then
you guys will be sleeping like 2 hours a day from here on?
yeah, it's fine though.
We get 3 hours now, so
They're already used to it.
Yeah.
What's another hour to get doing? Take it out of the schedule.
right. So funny.
So even now, so where can people find you now? Like, where can people go to say, all right, where are they going to be? Where can I check out Popito's Pizza? What's the best place to go and find the calendar updates?
Right. So we are on all social platforms, Popito's Pizza. We certainly have, Lauren and her friend had just put the website together. It came out awesome, just in time for the store
Awesome.
opening. So always information right at the site.
And you could also inquire, anytime you reach out through any social media platform or the website, you're reaching out directly to
You
Ray
get
and I.
us.
It's us, and
Right.
then also, into the store.
Perfect.
So,
Right.
and
So
then
really-
Winter Wander we're doing again this year, so
Oh,
you'll find us
yeah.
there.
Perfect.
Yes,
Yeah.
and then King Family Vineyards for the next, until they stop doing Wine Wednesday and their polo, and I think this is the last week for polo on the turf
on
this
there.
weekend. So, yep.
Should be sure to check that out. All right, so for Popito's Pizza on Facebook, on Instagram, and all the social media channels, and the website will be coming out soon, or
PopitosPizza.com.
No, it's live now. Yep.
PopitosPizza.com.
Popito
So
Pizza.
it really couldn't be any easier.
Right.
Across all the.
Now, who's going to
across
come
all
up with
the branding.
Popitos? Let's find it. I mean,
Yeah, you don't find it anywhere else.
It's perfect.
We did find one, and I believe it was in Ecuador.
Yeah.
A Popito's Pizza.
Yeah, but
So
it's
I
spelled
said, awesome.
P-E-P-I-T-O-S.
Right, that's right.
Oh, that's
Pepitos,
Pepitos, yeah.
yes.
That's that's not
So
the same.
unfortunately, can't possibly be mistaken, because it's all the way in Ecuador. You have,
Yeah.
you have a hard time accidentally getting there
That's
instead
right.
of here. So,
Exactly. I love that.
just look for the one in the United States.
That's right.
On this, in this continent.
Yeah.
And you'll be fine.
That's right,
You'll be
exactly.
this Popito's Pizza.
So awesome.
Ray, Lauren, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Absolutely.
Thank you both so much for joining us.
No,
It's been a
thank
lot
you
of
for
fun.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks
This
for
has
coming.
been awesome.
And yeah, good luck. I mean, that's fantastic.
Come get a pizza, November 11th.
Absolutely.
We will.
November 11th. At November 11th at the Rio Hill Shopping Center.
Yes.
And
sir.
then just check out popitospizza.com and across social media for different locations for the mobile. Thank you
Yes.
both so much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank
November
you,
11th,
guys.
Is that a Saturday?
It
Friday.
is
Friday.
Friday.
Friday,
okay.
yes.
Friday.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Alrighty,
That's
so
a great day. Pizza.
Friday
on
night
Friday.
pizza night.
Oh,
There you
right.
go.
Absolutely.
There you go. Thank you both so much.
I mean, how often do we have? I mean, especially during Lenten season,
yeah.
right? It's like pizza on Fridays, I mean, because that's what we like. So
Absolutely. It's fantastic.
another
Just
spot to go.
One more shout out here, Lucrecia Morales says, saludos amigos, excelente programa como siempre. Muchísimas gracias,
Sombreros.
Lucrecia. So from our friends at Sombreros, just always love them. A couple mentions, don't forget CIC event that we talked with, of course,
that's right, that's
before
right.
we left, we had
That's
Stephen on.
November 6th.
And so that's going to be November 5th, Friday,
November
November 5th,
Okay.
Saturday, November
Saturday.
5th, CIC 10-year anniversary. You can go to cicville.org. They're going to have lots of CIC graduate food trucks coming in, all the CIC vendors. You can taste lots of different foods, lots of different wines. Matt Harmon from Harmony Wines
That's right,
will be there.
exactly.
So a lot of different opportunity to try some more fantastic local businesses and support a great local organization. Also, just a little shout out, Virginia Film Festival. November 2nd to the 6th. There's a couple more Latino-themed films this year.
Oh, really?
That people can be interested to check out.
Okay.
So we definitely encourage people. There's definitely a
And
great amount
documentaries or
of
films, like?
documentaries and films,
Okay.
both. So I definitely would encourage you if you're interested in seeing what some new Latino filmmakers are coming up with. Definitely check out Virginia Film
Is it
Festival.
dubbed in English, though?
I would imagine if it's in Spanish, he does it in English. So I'm not 100% sure about that one, but I would imagine usually that's the case. Yeah, but you don't need it.
I know.
You're fine.
I didn't say I need it. I just wanted to know for everybody else that wants to see
For
that.
everybody else who wants to, yeah, absolutely. I believe so. Usually that's the case, but I can double check and let you know next week.
Thank you.
I can let you know next week on that one. Next week, of course, we'll be joined by Trisha Drudel from Phase 28 and Baby Bridge, so like mom consultation, so helping out the moms in the area, as well as Pastor David Ford, who's been on the show before. He came on last year. He's returning from his mission to Cuba.
Yeah.
So, of course, being big fans of Cuba, being you're Cuban yourself, always love having him just learn about what's going on in Cuba, how the people there are doing, what he's learned. So he's just come back from a mission there, so he's going to tell us a little bit about that. So he's going to be joining us next week as well. Just fantastic show. It couldn't no better way to be back.
Absolutely.
Than to have such amazing guests on our show today.
A lot of fun.
Everyone's just been fantastic. Really appreciate Elizabeth with Let's Create Consulting, Ray and Lauren from Popito's Pizza, and Fernando from Fusion Café. Just love being here on the I Love CVille Network set. Thank you, Judah, behind the camera. Thanks, Nick, for all the work he did filling in for us and also setting up.
Setting all this up, that's
setting
right.
all this up. He really helps us, get all our fantastic guests on the show. So just shout out to him. Of course, thank you for Emergent Financial Services, our presenter. And of course, we love our partners at Craddock Serious Insurance, the Gym CVille, Castle Hill Cider, Aqua CVille Hand Car Wash, and of course, Ford, Adelante, the premier Latino networking group here in Charlottesville, Virginia. And of course, we love you, our audience, without whom none of this would be possible. Thanks to everyone for the great comments, for watching today, for sharing. We had a number of people that shared the show this morning, so really appreciate that. And we look forward to seeing you all next week. I look forward to being on here, hopefully with you next week.
Hopefully.
But until then, as we always say on the show, hasta mañana.
Well done, guys.
Very fantastic.